Relax, off your balls. Okay.
Hello, my name is Megan Ruth. I'm a Canadian living in London, England, and I react to British things. And I've also not been having a great time as of late. So I broke my wrist a couple weeks ago, which we've talked about, we've discussed. It was not exciting. I broke it getting out of the bathtub. And I also managed to come down with a stomach flu. So I'm just recovering from that now, which is why I look, you know, like crap essentially. But yeah, it's been a fun couple of weeks, which, you know what, it actually has, because my mom has been visiting. My mom was visiting me from Canada, and coincidentally this just happened to come up while she was here, just because the universe is hilarious. Yeah, we had a great time regardless. We went to Paris and everything. I will be making a video about my mom being in Canada. I will be making a video about my mom being in the UK and her thoughts on it and stuff, but I'll do that when I'm not ill. I think that's the main thing, right? Anyway, to cheer me up, I'm going to be reacting to some comedy, like I like to do when I like to be cheered up. You know, I like to react to some comedy. Not that I don't react to comedy pretty much every week, because I do. It's my thing on YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to be reacting to some Fry and Laurie, Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, two brilliant British legends, lovely, lovely people. I'm assuming. I've never met them in person, but you know what I mean. I'm just gonna stop talking. Yeah, this looks like fun, so I'm gonna be reacting to it.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to a very special comedy edition of Masterclass. And we're very lucky to have with us in the studio this evening the actor Hugh, fresh from his triumphant appearance in my production of A Midsummer Night's Dream at Stratford, where he played the part of Bottom. Hello, Hugh.
Hi.
Hi. Hugh, you've proved that you're a master of dramatic comedy by the way you handled your bottom in my dream. But tonight, we're going to be concentrating much more on audience skills. Right. All right? So you've done your exercises, you're fit and you're ready to go.
I think so.
OK, on your feet, then.
Well, I am on my feet.
No, this is comedy, Hugh. Always on the balls of your feet for comedy. Always on the balls for comedy. That's very important. Good. All right. Now, because we're going to be doing some joke work, some gag work, I'm going to give you a simple joke, and I want you to deliver it. All right?
OK.
All right.
I won't say it was a small town, but the speed limit signs were back to back.
Good. Relax, off your balls. OK. I wonder if you knew this. In all comedy, there are only two jokes. Did you know that? Just two jokes.
That wasn't one of them, was it?
No, it was both of them, Hugh. All right? Because the two jokes are, firstly, a blurring and a slipping of moral categories, and secondly, logic gone awry. That's what they were laughing at, all right? So bear that in mind and try again.
Can I try it with another joke?
What's wrong with this one, Hugh?
Well, I don't think it's very funny.
You mean you don't think it blurs the moral categories enough? I think it blurs them plenty, Hugh. On your balls, have a go.
I won't say it was a
I
small...
don't want to stop you here, Hugh.
Oh, all right. I won't say it was a
I don't want to stop you, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to. All right, so relax and off your balls. Hugh, comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy, comedy, comedy. Comedy, Hugh, is about sharing, isn't it? It's about community. Com-edy. Community, if you like. All right? So, as an artist, you have to create an atmosphere of sharing with all those around you. All right? There's a simple technique to do that. It's called the beckon, and I'm going to show it to you. It breaks down the barrier between yourself, the artist, and the audience. All right? So, I'm going to go down and beckon. Beckon them into your world of comedy. All right? It's quite simple. Have a go. Good. Well, that's an atmosphere of sharing and intimacy, isn't it? All right, but we also need an atmosphere of danger and excitement, don't we? And for that, there's a technique whereby you pretend that there are people standing, Hugh, in the wings or the sides of the stage, and they don't want you to go on, all right? They don't want you to tell your joke.
Because it's not very funny.
For whatever reason, Hugh, for whatever reason. Right. So what happens is, as you come up on your balls to beckon, you take a look left and right to check they're not there. It's called a take, all right? So you go... All right? And did you notice my tongue came out a couple of times? That's called tonguing the gag in. That's also important. It helps create the sharing. You know? Well, reasons, Hugh, reasons. All right? So, put it all together on your balls, have a go.
Oh, my God.
I won't say it was a small town, but the speed limits were back to back.
Good, well done, well done. There's one slight textual problem there, Hugh. It's the speed limit signs are back to back.
Oh, sorry.
All right? You just said the speed limits were back to back. It's quite important. That, imagine how small the town would be if its speed limit signs were back to back. How small would that be?
Quite small.
Very small. Yes? And that's the joke, you see. All right?
But,
yes, carry on.
well, I mean, why do I say that I'm not going to say it's a small town and then say it's a small town?
Never analyse comedy. You never. Don't try and break it into little pieces. It's beautiful, it's lovely as it is. Don't smash it up.
Right.
All right? Let's just say it's part of the internal craziness of the gag, all right?
Right.
And that brings me on to another technique, and that's laughing the joke in. You find it so crazy that you can't help laughing at it yourself, all right?
Okay.
So... I won't say it was a small town. But the speed limit signs were back to back. You see? You see? Don't worry about the northern accent. That'll come later, all right? Okay. So, Hugh, I've written down for you on a piece of paper 1 or 2 words I want you to add to your routine. They all help create this atmosphere we've been talking about.
No, stop it, don't.
Yes, that's right. No, stop it. Shh, don't. No. Ah. You see? And I've given you a catchphrase there. That's your catchphrase.
Don't you start, madam.
That's it. Now, make it your own, Hugh.
Right.
Well, no, you're going to need to read it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, if you go off, I'll introduce you, put it all together, see
Right.
what happens. Oh, Hugh, we
Yes?
could incorporate that comedy trip we did last week in the tumbling masterclass. Do you remember?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll use that, see if it works. All right?
Right.
Off you go, then. Ladies and gentlemen, live on this stage, making his comedy debut, please, a very warm hand for Hugh. Don't you start, Madam Laurie. Yes? Carry on, take on the wings.
No, stop it, though. Don't you. Oh, listen, look. Aha, aha. Yes. I won't say it was a small town.
Catchphrase.
What?
Catchphrase, Hugh.
Oh, sorry. Don't you start, madam.
It's not to me, it's to the audience.
Oh, don't you start, madam.
Good, good, good. And now tag.
But the speed limit signs were back to back.
That's wonderful. Well done, Hugh.
You know what? Like, I know that Hugh Laurie is famous for House, but it's almost a shame that he is because he's so talented in the comedy world. And, you know, most people, especially in North America, don't know that about him. But clearly over here, people do. But it just hasn't translated much across the Atlantic. And it's a shame because he's so talented. But yeah, brilliant. And so interesting seeing them that young. You know, obviously I've seen them that young with Blackadder as well, but like in a different setting. Very funny, and yeah, it definitely cheered me up a little bit. Didn't cure my illness, but cheered me up. Imagine if comedy could do that. Imagine if comedy could be like actually life-saving. Well, I did hear once that laughter is actually good for you, but it makes sense because laughter relieves stress, and you know, stress is not good for you. You know, cortisol and you know the stress hormone, and apparently it's very detrimental and not the greatest for you. So who knows? Maybe it has cured me and I just don't know it yet. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Before I go, I just want to quickly shout out my patrons. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. My Patreon is my members only site where you get benefits such as early access to my videos and my complete unedited, uncensored reaction videos. And patron shoutouts if you're a top tier patron. So thank you to Brian, Reese, Kane, Emil, Julian, Patrick, Sean, Highcross 1980, RG, Rob, William, Ian, Kyle, Danny, Bud, Raul, Christina, James, Andrew, Robin, Hathaway, Carl, Chris, David, Christopher, Gary, Adam, and Hogweed. Thanks again for watching and see you next time. Bye!